Hello everyone, it's Tonya with Scribbles in Time. I'm going to do a flip through today of a Christmas journal, and I'll start off by saying that I have never ever done Christmas in July, ever. Christmas is my absolute most favorite season of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. I just love what Christmas represents in my life, and I also love like the magical feeling of Christmas, and how it just kind of takes me back to my childhood. I have probably the most memories from my childhood probably are centered around Christmas time. I just have that's always been my favorite time of year. It's just a special time for me. And so I've never been one to do the whole Christmas in July kind of thing, because for me, this sounds weird, but it's almost depressing because it's not Christmas time. And so for me, this year has been an unusual year. I think it has for pretty much everyone in the world. It's just been unusual. I think in my mind, I'm still kind of stuck in maybe April or May. I'm in denial that we're in July. So it really, for me, had nothing to do with it being Christmas in July kind of thing. For me, when I was going through, y'all have heard me say in my previous videos that I just redid a craft room in my home. And so as I was going through and moving stuff over and kind of designing my craft room, I did come across my Christmas stuff that I had been accumulating to do Christmas journals. And last year I did do a Christmas journal, but I didn't really do videos of Christmas journals last year, because I think, again, for me, I kind of focus on Christmas, more around the end of November. And by then it's kind of hard to get a journal ready in time to get it shipped to someone. So as I was going through the stuff in my, and organizing it into my craft room, I decided to go ahead and start pulling out things, how I've always said I pull out things that make me happy. And I decided to go ahead and do that with the Christmas stuff so that I could create a Christmas journal and kind of escape the realities of the world right now and just kind of transport myself into a little temporary Christmas season, even though I know, I know what Christmas is about. I know all of that. That's not what this video is here to talk about. I'm here to talk about, the feelings that I'm trying to evoke with my crafting. So with all of that being said, I created a Christmas journal, and I am going to go ahead and get this posted in my Etsy. And I know it is early, but I figure this way, if anyone is interested in it, there should be plenty of time for shipping. I still don't know how the shipping is going, around the country. Around the world to other countries. I know I have shipped to a couple of other countries, and, they've gone through, but I think there's still some issues of some of the postal services holding things in like a timeout area to allow germs to die off or whatever. So I don't know how all of that's working right now. I just know that I created a Christmas journal, and I'm going to go ahead and get it posted. And again, that way, if anyone's interested, I can get it shipped out early, and it should definitely have time to arrive in time to do the whole, what is it everybody did last year? I loved watching 49 Dragonflies do hers, where every day she did a prompt, where she did like journaling every single day for the month of December. And I didn't do that, but I did love watching other people do it. So anyway, so in this one, I did actually create here at the beginning of the journal. Y'all know how I always try to do my little writing area on this side. So I actually, this area contains like 32 writing areas, because I figured, you might want a title page, and then a few extra smaller pages for attaching cards, Christmas cards, and things like that. So I kind of did this with again, the art book area, the mixed media area, and then the area over here for maybe doing that daily journaling for December. So anyway, I'll get back to that in a minute. Let's talk about the outside of the book. So there's kind of a lot to talk about. As you can see, there is a lot on the book. Again, I did the layering with the different covers. So this is the inside journal. This is the outside cover up here. with different, you know, gesso and mediums on that. There's some ink and some script on there, and pretty much all over the journal. There's some cardboard here with gesso. There's a wooden frame here. That's the black. I actually painted that black. It was a natural wood. And this is a wooden, it's real thick, like a wooden, I guess, die cut kind of thing of Santa. And as you can see, I've kind of inked up the sides of it so it wouldn't be so stark white against the book. He's got a little jingle bell on him right there. There's some collaging with some Christmassy themed fabric there, and a little Let It Snow button. I guess that wouldn't be a button, that's more like a pin. Some fabric down here, and I've done some little messy stitching. I mostly did that so that when the book's open, you can see the stitching from the back side of the fabric when the book's open. Little wine cap right here. It actually had a golden bell on it. You can't hardly make that out. There's a little bit of Christmas music paper here. And that is like really pretty, and it was authentic. It was, you know, green and red in the way that it was done. There's a little piece of ribbon, piece of string. This is a lot of strings. I've been kind of snipping the strings off, but you know how I am. I like to kind of leave some of them in case the person wants the strings. Assuming that, you know, that this sells. If it doesn't sell, this will be my journal for December. This is the top view. I did the whole fuzzy spine with hidden stitches. I did some little hand stitching here. I tried to give it the appearance of these strips securing the book, but and I did actually stitch the little X's on there into the actual book cover, but these were not securing the book. It's more for just decoration, and I guess maybe, who knows, in years it might actually serve somewhat to secure the book. There's different layering of some spines. This was a very beautiful red and gold spine, but it was like a dictionary, and so I covered it up with a little die cut of Santa, and I just thought he went so well with this Santa. And my favorite, I'm sure I've said this before on, you know, like last year at Christmas, but my favorite rendition of Santa Claus is the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. That's just my, I don't know, again, I don't know what makes these little childhood memories so fun to think about. But yeah, I just love the whimsical Santa from the Coca-Cola ads, and to me this has that look. And of course it says ho 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 across the bottom. So I think I'm going to title this one Santa. And here's the back of the book. Again, there's some ink, and I did do kind of a clear coat over it to help protect it. I didn't do a real thick clear coat, but I did do a light clear coat. So I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't sit and scrub on this or anything like that. This would be okay just to, you know, gently wipe down, but I wouldn't sit and scrub on it. So from the side, did I already show that? Oh, it's hard to show. I'm sorry, y'all. I filmed with my phone, so I don't have the best filming capabilities. There's the bottom, and back to the top. I'm going to remember to measure. Always forget to do that. So yeah, the book is, with all of this stuff poking out, somewhere, I'd say probably 10. But then if you're only going to like the edge of the cover to the edge of the cover, it's more like 9.5. And then as far as how tall it is, with all the stuff poking out, it's right up there close to the 12 inches, maybe 11 3/4. But if you're only going from the top of the spine to the bottom of the spine, it's more like around 10. And as far as how tall it is, we're probably 3, oh, that's upside down. Nope, I think that's going to be closer to 4. I think I actually cut the spine 3.5. Yeah, it's about, it's right at 4 inches coming across. So, again, this is probably not the best book for sliding in a bookcase because from the side you can see that this bell pokes out. So to slide it into a bookcase, it would be fine if it's the last book on the end of the bookcase. And that's what it would look like on a bookcase from the spine view. But I really try to do my books in a way that they're prettier, like sitting out on a coffee table or a table. I always say I like for my books to just, you know, kind of sit out so that when people come over, they want to open it and touch it and flip it and see what all this stuff is poking out. Okay, I think that's most everything from the outside. Again, I told you all this is wood, cardboard, some fabric, and then all this stuff poking out. So when you open the book up, again, over here is going to be a journal. Over here is going to be the art section. And let's just go ahead and talk about the overall view when you open it up so you can see all the different layers of the different pages here from the art section. And then these tabs here, so I had shown you on the front where the little X's were hand stitched in, and so I placed buttons here, you know, from where those X's are on the front. And these are just fabric tabs that, you know, just kind of eclectically correlate. Is that a word? Yeah, so I wanted something that, you know, didn't blend too much. I just wanted it all to be very eclectic. So I used all different kind of patterns of ribbons and materials and that kind of thing. And I did this closure this way so that, you know, you can close the book like this, but you can also untie this to provide yourself, like, you know, more space so that as this thickens up with Christmas cards and, you know, Christmas tags, whatever it is that you like to put inside of your journaling space, you can loosen this bow out so that it has room to be thicker. Does that make sense? And then, yeah, when the book is closed, there's plenty of room for that to grow and still be good. That's kind of the beauty of these kind of books to me, is that they're okay to have a gator mouth. And they typically end up with a gator mouth, which I don't always love on regular, you know, just writing journals, but I think on art journals it's okay. So this book, I went with kind of a more earthy tone because I was going with this fabric on the spine. Anyway, I wanted the reds to pop, and I thought that they would look so beautiful against earth tones. So that's kind of the route I went there. So when you open up the writing journal, let's kind of slide this over. This is a card. I don't think there's a date on this one. Nope, no writing on it and no date. And I you know, many times I went in and was about to attach it as kind of a page in here, but instead I wanted it to be something that whoever decides to use this journal, whether it be me or anyone else, I can make the decision of where I want it to go. It could go in the art section or wherever. This is a little tuck spot here on the side. I guess you might technically call that a pocket because it's closed on the top and bottom and down the side. So I guess it would technically be a side pocket. But I've tucked that in there like that. The spine of the writing journal on the inside has this kind of burgundy red, more of a red tone. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but it is a deep red. I guess that's what I should call it, a deep red that I thought blended so well with the Santa Claus here on this card. And it has the gold glitter. Coming down the side is some beautiful sequined material, and I backed it onto some black cardstock because I thought it made it pop a little bit better against the rest of the background. And then a really cute Santa. Let's see if I can hold that up there so you can see. I'm bumping into the arm of the camera. So on the bottom here is a little stocking that is stitched down so that you can slide a pencil. Honestly, when I was first doing it, I was thinking of putting it kind of up top to see if I could figure out a way, because I know I oftentimes like to have my reading glasses. So I started to attach it to the top to put glasses, but the glasses were too bulky. I didn't go that route, so I put a pencil in there. You can do a paintbrush, pen, whatever. But you get the point. And yeah, this is the book without that card there. You can see the kind of the green polka dots. And that pretty much sums that up. Here's Santa Claus, and it just says Christmas wishes. This is a squirrel in a little red plaid scarf that's decoupaged onto that page. I don't even know if I can hold that up well enough that you can tell that it's decoupaged, but that's the cute little squirrel. That's from a napkin. Here's some Christmassy fabric. And then we've just kind of gone through and have coffee and tea dyed paper through here. And again, these are perfect for doing your little daily journaling through the month of December. This is some handmade paper. My friend Dee, her sister, made this. And I thought that the colors in it were so pretty for Christmas. And you can actually feel the texture. And then I'll just do, oh, I did the center of this. I tried to do a pop-up. And I know there are little videos out there that you can watch. I've never felt pulled to try to do a pop-up in the center of a journal. And I shouldn't even really say a pop-up. This was more of a paper thing. I'm going to try to flip to where I'm talking about. Obviously, I didn't succeed at it too well if I can't even find it. So yeah, I tried to do this so that when you get to the center, all of this fans up together. What I did is I made kind of a, let me tuck that back in there. So what I did is I made kind of a stiff area, and I was just playing and having fun. Not saying this is the right way to do it. There's videos out there to watch, and I wasn't, see, I kind of wanted it like that. I don't know if you can even see what I'm talking about. I wanted it to look layered when it's opened like that. Can you see? But I skipped ahead. Let's go back. Sorry. Okay, so we were somewhere around here. So yeah, this is a little piece of fabric here on the bottom of this page. This is just a little note paper with a pretty kind of a burgundy with little gold specks on that. A cardinal there. This says, hope Santa brings all your favorite things, with a little picture of a gift on it. And then this is a little tuck area here. This is an old piece of something. How do you like that? I don't know. I think probably wrapping paper that I had in some of my Christmas stuff. And I just did a little tuck spot out of some of the, like a painter's tape or a sheetrock tape, I think that is, that Dee gave me, with some pretty Christmas material stitched down. And then that, I just kind of tucked that there. And I thought it was really cute against this page, because this is a picture of all Santa Claus's clothes hung up, giving it the appearance that they're hung up to dry. His coat and his hat and his little reindeer bells and all of that. This is a pretty piece of music paper. It's called the Christmas Tree. So I've decoupaged on that with some napkin. Festive wishes there. I just tied a little silver ribbon at the bottom of it. On the back side, it has a metal die cut of a tree, and I just thought it kind of looked like a pretty winter tree. Maybe not so much a Christmas tree, but a pretty winter tree. And I did put one more of these on the other little piece of the music paper. We'll get to that in a second. This is a, what do you call it, a vellum bag or whatever, with snowflakes on it. And I just put a vintage piece of wrapping paper. See, that's just a bag. I slid a vintage piece of wrapping paper on that. In that, I should say. This is taking so much longer than I had anticipated. I think I'm in a talkative mood. Comes from being home too much. So yeah, this book, I've probably spent the most time that I have ever spent on a book, on this book. I started on this book, I'm 2 days shy of it being 2 weeks, and I have worked, I sometimes when I get really into my, my artwork, sometimes I get insomnia, and so it's like I wake up at night thinking about it, and I have to come back here now that I have a craft room. I come back here and just work away. So, yeah, I'm like 12 days on this book, and that's counting, you know, there's been nights I've been up working on it. This is probably the longest time I've spent on any journal ever. Maybe not from when I first started. So, yeah, because then things kind of took me longer. So, yeah, this was the area where I kind of did the stiff section of just layers of material here, and try to do it so that it kind of fans out when it's opened. I think it's probably has a different look in person than what it's probably coming across on camera. But anyway, it's not anything, you know, overly exciting. I just liked it. This is a Christmas card with Santa on it. It looks like he's pondering on his naughty and nice list there. Trying to, you can see all the little kids' faces in the background. I love this. I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, Norman Rockwell. And yeah, you can see all the kids' faces, like he's sitting there pondering all the little kids and his you know, thoughts on filling out their little names in the book. Love it. This is just the other side of that. And here, this is, I left a very thin opening here, and I tucked this vintage looking Santa Claus in right there. Mostly because I thought the colors coordinated with this stationery so well. And so, yeah, I wanted to kind of, I didn't want to attach it, so I tucked it in like that. See? And then this has a little fabric tab on it and fabric coming down there to work kind of as a balance of this with this. This is washi tape. And then I've kind of layered this piece of stationery. I've folded it and layered it to give it that little bit of strength that it needed there to do this little, you know, layered effect. And some pretty white and gold lacy trim there on this page. This is the other part of the musical paper that I was telling you I put another die cut metal tree on it. And then another pretty red, I'm sorry, I was fixing to say something. I'll go back to that. Gold ribbon coming down this page. And I had a red strip of ribbon that I was going to put here. And it started getting to be too much. Like, to me, in my opinion, if this were a book I was getting, I would want places to go in and attach, you know, Christmas pictures and Christmas cards and name tags, you know, off of my gifts for the year and just that kind of thing. So yeah, and also the ribbon that I put here originally, or was going to put there originally, from the outside of the book, I just thought it was too much. So I ended up not doing that. And the other side of this has like a peppermint stick look. And then this is the back of that front journal. And I love this pretty, this is actually a napkin. And I just thought it was so pretty. And the other part of that gold and that deep red ribbon there. And that pretty much completes that portion of the journal. That's a little post there. I think I said that earlier for wrapping the ribbon around. And then let's get over here to the art section so we can wrap up this video because it is getting long. So yeah, this very first page here has a lot to talk about. So there are metal, like rusty, worn washers. I can't say that they're rusty as much as they're scratched. These are like really old. These came out of my stepdad's workshop. And not my stepdad, my father-in-law. I always say stepdad. I don't know why I do that. My father-in-law's workshop. And this Santa, his legs wiggle. So I'm sure you can hear that. But I just love that. Adds a little bit of whimsy to the front page. And when you move the book, it just wiggles and jiggles. So he's attached up there with that washer. Then down here on the bottom, coming down the page, I've did some just sloppy hand stitching. And you'll see that there's gesso. This, as always, you guys, I used mixed media paper in here so that you can paint or add more gesso to make this white. You can literally snip these stitches out if you wanted to and paint a little picture here. You can even take the Santa off because he's tied on with a ribbon. I'll show you on the other side of the paper. So you can, you know, use that paper as you want. This is some pretty ribbon here with a wooden die cut that says Believe on that. And then that is backed onto some black thick cardstock with white gesso around it because I just thought it kind of gave it a snow effect. Can you see? Try not to move it too fast. That can mess you up, I think. So yeah, that's kind of the tab of this little skinny page here where the Santa Claus is hanging. And so then when you turn that, this is a scripture here. It's Luke 2:11, and it's just a pretty scripture. but to me it references Christmas because it says, "Today in the city of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord." And it's real pretty. With some white ribbon there, and that's all backed onto that piece of ribbon. And then here's the other side of where I stitched down that side of that page. Here's the ribbon that's holding the Santa Claus ornament on. And there's another washer on this page. It's all scratched up, not really rusty, just scratchy. And then a pretty, like a die cut of a poinsettia flower right there. This page here is collaged, and down on the bottom, you'll see I've attached a little candy cane. That's another thing I love at Christmas time. I don't so much love peppermint candy cane. I mean, like, I don't so much love, like, eating candy canes. As y'all probably have heard me say, I'm a dental hygienist, and I do eat sugar. Do not misunderstand that. I don't like to sit and, like, suck on hard candy or anything like that. Just for whatever. But I love the look of candy canes. I love the look of candy canes. Usually we put up about 6 Christmas trees throughout our house. Yes, I said 6, some years 7. But I do one of my Christmas trees all in a candy cane look. I kind of do a different theme in every room. And anyway, so I love candy canes. So I did put a candy cane there. And I did this Santa face here so that when this book is like this, you can kind of see that Santa peeking. Can you see it? Let's raise that up a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. I feel like I'm getting on borrowed time now because my little doggy's going to start barking. The mail lady will be coming pretty soon, and I'm on borrowed time, I can tell you that. Okay, so when you flip this open, there's fabric coming down here, some of the ticking fabric with the red and kind of a creamy color. And there's a green button here with the red waxed thread just tied around that. And then a real pretty glittery snowflake up here as a tab. So you can see that from this other side, like that. And this is like wrapping paper, old wrapping paper, collaged on here. You can see little bits of the old wrapping paper. Again, this is mixed media paper, so you can slap gesso all over it. You'll see there's red ink on here. You know, there's a fine line of doing, I learned this the hard way. There's a fine line of doing red splatter on paper without it having kind of a scary look about it. To me, you have to kind of mix it with just the right amount of greens and golds to give it a Christmassy look, or else it comes out looking like something else that we don't even want to talk about splattered on paper. But anyway, yeah, there's ink, there's red. This is actually acrylic paint here. This is a red ink that I have here. There's some script writing on here. This is a removable clip, and it's perfect for, like, you know, when you sometimes when you're doing your art journaling, you have to like clip a page down. So I thought this was perfect if I can make my fingers work. Oh, I forgot I have a tassel back here. So yeah, I hung a tassel on the other side for that page. So yeah, this has kind of like a little gator clip on it. And you just clip it onto your pages, and it can hold them down. It's kind of weighted, so it'll help hold them down if you're sketching or whatnot. And I just thought it was pretty, kind of putting it on to the side of a page as a tab, like that. And then on this side, just to add a little bit of gold to it, because you can see the gold on the side of the metal leaves. So I kind of wanted to pop that gold a little bit, so I added a gold tassel. It's removable. The whole thing is obviously removable. I try to do that in my books to where the pages already look ripped. So if ever there's something that's attached that you are really into a painting or doing something on the paper and it's really messing you up and not working, you can literally tear this edge off and like tear all of this up, and it already has a torn look, so it's going to still blend in perfect with the book. And then you can always just take whatever you tear off and go somewhere else and glue it down. But yeah, that's kind of the beauty of the messiness, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's when you do something so that it's intentionally already kind of used looking, it makes using it much easier, if that makes sense for those of us that don't like to use some of our stuff. So this page has a little snowman, some plaid color collaging there. Coming down this side, there is obviously a Santa Claus hat as a tab, and it shows from the outside of the book. That's one of the things poking through. There's the green Christmassy fabric with a Santa Claus right there. Some ribbon coming down the center. I like to do that where my pages meet sometimes, just to add a little pop. On the back side, it's pretty much all art space. This is the between the signatures. You'll see that green polka dotted fabric. And then here I've got just a little, like a little tuck area. And this is actually the first page of the second signature right here. But I tuck it under there. And then this is a cool Christmas card. It has a very vintage look. I don't think it's old. Yeah, it's I'm sorry. I thought I was just going to say that's 2008. I'm trying to look, and obviously I don't have my little reader glasses on, but that's like a number. Anyway, yeah, this is just more, I think, made to look vintage. And I thought the colors went perfect with this fabric right here and the background. So I just kind of tucked that in there. I tried to put it up a little bit high so that it peeks out a little bit when this is tucked under here. And I just tucked that page under there. You don't have to. I did. Little piece of ribbon coming down the side of that. And this is just Christmas material onto a piece of cardstock. So it bends pretty easy. And then I put some little trim coming around the sides of it. When you flip this page, I love this page. I love this page. Yeah, this is just a glittery piece of a Christmas arrangement that I have snipped off and put there, and put a little piece of the ribbon on the bottom. And then there's, and it says Merry Christmas right there, collaged onto that paper with different ink splatters and script and all of my messy stuff. And then some cheesecloth or muslin in the center. And then Santa Claus here. And here's another one of the snowflake tabs that's very glittery and sparkly. So when you turn this page, you can see, can you see? You can see the snowflake, the Santa hat. I mean, yeah, that's what you see. Collaging on this page. Again, even the pages that are collaged, slap gesso on it if you want to, or, you know, staple Christmas cards or whatnot. This is some beautiful, pretty, very thin. It feels so old. My friend Pam gave me this, and I made myself use some. And then this is the start of the third signature. I don't know if I said this book has 3 signatures in the art section, 2 signatures in the journaling section. And I already know I told you there's like 32 pages that actually have writing surfaces on that journal section. Plus there's the other little note papers and stuff like that in there. Okay, so this is another little skinny page here. And I'm trying to think. I was just going to say something else. Oh, as you can see, I offset all of the pages. Again, I want that layering look. All the pages are torn, and I try to tear them so the other pages show through. So yeah, it's very offset in the way they're in the book, intentionally. I put ribbon down the side of that page. And again, all the different splatters with the paint. Here's the Coca-Cola Santa. This is more gessoing. Yeah, gessoing, of course, but I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say wrapping paper. And a pretty piece of ribbon coming down the center. And y'all, this is a hand crocheted snowflake. A lady on Etsy makes these. I'll try to remember to post her link. I don't think that wherever she's at right now, I bought these last year. I think I got 3 of them from her, and they have little jingle bells up here. I think she's called Gracie's Place. Gracie with an I-E. I think it's Gracie's Place. And yeah, she hand crochets. And I did that up here with this button. And I did stitch the button on, and I put a little reindeer charm right there. But my thought process is, if anybody wants to like take this and use it as a Christmas tree ornament, you can, you know, snip this little string off that's holding this button on, and then just remove this. I did not glue this. I try not to alter things like that to where they can be used. They can be removed and used. So yeah, that's really pretty. It is really pretty. But behind it, it's more wrapping paper, the little Coca-Cola kids. I'm trying to remember if this was wrapping paper, the Coca-Cola, or a napkin. Don't remember. The back side has the reindeer charm that I was telling you about. Can you see it? Let's raise that up a little bit. Real pretty reindeer. Oh my goodness. I'm like 35 minutes in. Okay, we're almost done. I promise. Wrapping paper, a Christmas tree, a Christmas wreath, collaged on there. Paper. This is old wrapping paper right here. You can just tell it's old by the... Oh, and I said 3 signatures. Sorry, there's 4 signatures. You can tell it's old just by how it feels. This is the paper there. This actually kind of coordinates with that, doesn't it? I did not attach this in. I've got to go back and do that. Sorry. So yeah, this is going to go there like that. Pretend like that's there. And then beautiful gold trim coming down the side of the page. This says, wishing you peace and love at Christmas and always. This is the back of the book, so I just wanted to kind of put some kind of little message like that back here. And then this slid out a while ago when I picked the book up, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, but let me show you the back of the book. So here's the other part of that wrapping paper, and this is a wooden die cut that says Merry, and then this is the paper die that says Christmas. So it says Merry Christmas, and it's just kind of a cool effect because it's 2 different, you know, not mediums, but 2 different whatevers, textures. And then this is an old, it's 1954, and it was like a church, I believe a church. You can see it said 50 cents on there. There's no place like home for the holidays, and it's got South Park Baptist Church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And, you know, it is disassembled. I don't even know if they ever were assembled. I don't see any staple holes or anything in that, or stitching holes. So I don't even know if these ever were assembled. And I believe all the pages are here to it. It feels like they're all here. But I did not want to. I was going to disassemble this and, you know, put it into the writing part of the journal. But I would have had to cut the pages. I didn't want to do that. And I love just tucking stuff in a journal anyway, as if it's something that, you know. So I just tucked it in the back. All right, let's talk about the back real quick, and then we'll be done. So the back cover has these tabs with kind of coordinating buttons coming down that, and that's the other side of these stitching here. I've put the buttons, and I used the red polka dot fabric because I thought it kind of coordinated with this. Again, this is a napkin that I've collaged on to the book cover here. And then this is the back of the book. I think we made it through the video, guys. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shut up now. Open, because I am fixing to go in and attach this down to that. If you have any questions, please let me know. Would love to hear from you. I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. I'm so sorry if you don't agree or don't understand the whole Christmas in July thing. Thanks for indulging me on it. It's just, like I said, it's been, I can't say it's been a depressing year because I haven't let myself go there. I've tried to keep a very positive attitude through all of this. I feel like we're going to defeat this horrible virus, and I'm looking forward to the day that we do. But in the meantime, I thought a little touch of Christmas would be fun, just to break up my, you know, sheltering in place. So that's what I've done. So thanks for indulging me. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.